Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Old Styles in the building with another stream today, talking about a very controversial figure, man. Lamor M. Whitehead, also known as the Bling Bling Pastor. This man is hot right now. Pause. He has people talking like crazy. He's all over. He's all over the media, mainstream media, YouTube media. Everybody's talking about him. He's doing interviews with rappers. He's doing interviews, press conferences. He's doing everything right now. He's gone viral, and for all the wrong reasons. Actually, if you don't know, this is Old Styles. This is my page. This is my channel. We do live streams, make videos. We do vlogs, talking about sports, talking about a whole bunch of different things. Um, Vlogs, going here, travel vlogs, stuff like that, right? So, end of the day, man, just hit that subscribe button if you like what you're hearing, man. Listen to the stream, man. Drop a comment, drop a like, give some feedback, man. You know what I mean? Let's get into it. I'm not, and first things first, I'm not gonna sit here and bash this guy and talk down on this guy and just give you, a whole bunch of reasons why I think this guy's a scammer and a fraud. And I'm not gonna do that. I'm simply gonna ask the question, man. What was this robbery set up? Was it real? Do you think it was just a way to him for him to gain some popularity out here? I mean, let's see. Let's get into it, man. Let's see. And again, if you like this content, man, kindly hit that subscribe button, share it with a friend. Um, let's get into it. So I'm gonna share an article very quickly, man. Once again, my name's Old Styles, man. Let's get into it, man. Let's just get right into it. We're not even gonna be here too long, maybe about like an hour max. Whoever wants to jump in, the link is on the screen, right? Drop your comments. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. So, flashy Brooklyn Bishop. My audio's good. Okay, good. You can see that on the screen. Yeah. Okay. Good. One moment here. All right. So, flashy Brooklyn Bishop Lamor Miller Whitehead defends lifestyle after $1 million jewelry heist. All right. So, if you don't know, recently in the media, this guy Bishop Lamor Miller Whitehead. Let me bring up a quick picture of him real quick, man. If you don't know who he is, man, you've been definitely sleeping. This is him right here. All right, this is just a picture of him. Just a picture of him. We'll get into more. We'll get more into him, right? But this is just a picture of him from the article. This is a picture of him from the article. We'll get more into him, right? And all the stuff that he's been kind of saying and that what he's kind of gone through, and maybe just asking the question at the end, do you think this shit was staged, man? All right, so we got a visitor in the building, man. Your boy El Selector is in the building. El Selector, my guy. Let people know what's going on, man. Tell them who you are. Let's get right into it, man.
L Selector from the L Selector Show. You already know what it is. I'm back at it right here. Salutes, and that's it. Let's get started, man.
All right, cool, man. I'll select to subscribe to his page, man. He does some really good stuff, talks about a lot of good topics and stuff like that. Yeah, man. So let's go, man. So it's gonna go through this article very quickly, and we'll just kind of stop along the way and expound. We'll kind of expand on different things that we're reading, right? And just kind of give it more context. So first things first, man. Okay, flashy Brooklyn Bishop Lamor Miller Whitehead defends lifestyle after $1 million jewelry heist. So his lifestyle, what are they talking about? What's this guy's lifestyle all about? Like they call him the flashy bishop. So what are they talking about, man? I'll select it. Just break it down, man. Let's get into it.
Yo, basically, you already know from what I seen. I just heard of this guy recently, so I'm not familiar with him. I'm not too familiar exactly on him, but from what my understanding is, he is a pastor from the Brooklyn, New York area. I'm not too sure exactly where located in Brooklyn. If any Brooklyn people want to let us know, please let us know. But from what I'm hearing, this dude is basically getting a lot of money from the church, and he's out here stunning. He's balling hard, like he's balling out of control. Like, bro, he's on some Cash Money Birdman 2001. You know what I mean? Stay fly type shit going on right now. You see what I'm saying? Like his balling is at a super high right now.
Yeah, it's out of control right now. Yeah. So when you say flashy, basically, he says personally, and we're gonna get into it, right? But he says he has multiple streams of income, right? So that's what he says. These are his words. So he says that he's not taking a dollar from the church. So he's not on the church's payroll, right? And we can definitely play where that comes from. So he said in a recent press conference that he doesn't take any money from the church. So he's not on the church's payroll, right? But again, there's some allegations out there of him stealing $90,000. There's a lawsuit out there. There's a lot of things out there. He's taken this. He took a woman's life savings and stuff like that, and he's denying everything. And again, we'll get into it. But yeah, flashy lifestyle, just basically meaning that he's been flossing, as El Selector said, like Birdman back in the 2000s, like.
Big timers, man. The big timers, man. Fucking Manny Fresh and Birdman, yo, still fly, man. He's on that tip.
Talking about cars. We're talking about okay, so basically just reading on the article here. The flashy Brooklyn bishop known for flaunting his Gucci suits. Now, a Gucci suit is not cheap. That's not cheap in itself. And that's just a suit. That's just suits, right? Who's walking around here with Gucci suits first and foremost, right? Like that's a lot of money, right? Like
Thank you.
anyways, but
That's 2001. Birdman, stunner,
exactly.
still
Exactly, some
fly.
cash money shit. So a Gucci suit, right? Like with the Gucci print on it, right? Like imagine what that's going for now in 2022, something like that, right? So he's rocking Gucci suits. He's up there preaching his word at his in his church in Gucci suits, right? That's pretty crazy. That's pretty balling right there, right? Um, diamond encrusted chains and a stable of luxury vehicles, right? So this dude, right, is walking around here looking like a freaking target, right? Easily. He's looking like a target, right? And he says, even though he's looking like a target, that it's not his fault that he was targeted in a $1 million jewelry heist. So he says it's not his fault. So I guess question is, man, I'll select it. Is it his fault? Like, is it his fault that he got robbed? I mean,
Dog,
it's
first and
yeah.
foremost, Private Chad stated that he's from Canarsie, bro. Let me tell you something.
Yes. Yes,
If
he's
you
from
from
Canarsie, Brooklyn.
if you from Canarsie, Brooklyn, man, or you from that whole Brooklyn area, there are wolves out there, man. Brooklyn is not no place to joke around, man. Brooklyn is not the place you want to be stunned unless you are the guy. And even if you're that guy, you still have to keep your head on a swivel. So, bro, this guy is out here shining. And yo, there's a recession going on right now. Like, bro, this is not the time. Well, people right now, the economy is plummeting. And my dude is out here while the economy's plummeting, bro. He's out here shining on the broke, man. So New York City, Brooklyn, bro. Brooklyn is known for wolves, man. The economy is not good in Brooklyn,
Yeah, no,
especially
definitely.
especially Black Brooklyn. It's not that good in Black Brooklyn. I mean,
Right.
salute to all the Brooklyn people out there. You know, what I mean, all the Caribbeans, the Black Americans. Shouts to all you guys out there in Brooklyn. But
I think
gosh,
he
man,
said he's Haitian or something like that. He's
he's
Haitian background from
Haitian.
Canarsie. And getting into his background, he had a rough upbringing because, and he's mentioned this plenty of times. Was actually, his father was killed by the boys in blue,
Oh
right?
snap!
When he was, I think he was really really young. I think he was like super young, like less than a year old. His father was actually, like beaten to death, right?
Jesus,
So that's he's coming from that past, right? So he's coming from
jeez.
that past. So again, I mean, I just find it so funny. I find it really funny, and we'll get into that right as we read through the article. They don't talk about that. They don't lead with that, and they never kind of lead with that. With as you said, with the black community, especially coming from Brooklyn, especially coming from Canarsie, especially coming from the states, right? They're just always gonna lead with as what we're gonna get into, right? As we read through the article, but they never lead with the fact that this guy started his life in tragedy, right? Like, he never even got to meet his father, right? So going on here. So Bishop Lamor Miller Whitehead, who's cozy with Mayor Eric Adams. You see what they're saying? He's cozy with Eric Adams. Like, I mean, and you know what I mean? Again, I'm not gonna get my personal opinions into it as yet. I'll wait. But okay, reading on. So if you don't know, Mayor Eric Adams and him, they're like pretty buddy buddy. There was a incident where he uh what do we call it there? The bishop here, the Bling bishop, pulled up in a Rolls Royce to turn in a suspect in the there's some type of subway shooting that happened a couple months back, and that's how everybody kind of got introduced to this guy and kind of figured out this guy had a relationship with Mayor Eric Adams, right? So we'll get into that. There's an article you can read about that, but that's I guess how we were kind of introduced to him a couple months ago, and then it just so happens that recently, maybe about like almost a week and a half ago now, that he just got robbed, right? So that's why I'm kind of asking the question, Nick, is this thing staged? Who knows, right? But we'll get into that. All right, so moving forward here, and previously he did 5 years in prison for identity fraud and grand larceny. Insists on Instagram that his public displays of wealth didn't lead to Sunday's gunpoint robbery during his live stream service in Canarsie. Yeah, so basically he's had a rough life. He did 5 years for identity fraud and grand larceny, which he said he was framed, which he said that he never, that there's a lot of corruption going on, which led to him doing the 5 years. And um yeah, so before that, apparently he had like a mortgage company. He had ties with Fubu and the guys. They shared like an office on the same floor in like a big fancy building in Manhattan. Like this guy he was doing a lot, man. Like he basically was doing a lot before he got wrapped up in all this. You see what I'm saying? Um, Okay, so going on here, it's not about me being flashy, said the Rolls Royce driving clergyman, 44, in a short video after three thieves robbed him and his wife in the middle of his sermon at the Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries. Right. So I think that's a key point right there, right? So the Rolls Royce, I guess everybody got introduced to him when he drove this Rolls Royce vehicle, accompanied by a suspect in some type of subway shooting. He dropped them off. Hit the suspect off at the precinct, and I guess Eric Adams was there too. So I guess he negotiated that to happen, and everybody was kind of really amazed that this guy was wearing all this name brand shit. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's how everybody got kind of introduced and started asking the questions. That's how he kind of leveled up. Like, how does this guy just pull up? This guy apparently is a pastor, pulls up in a Rolls Royce wearing all this that Fendi outfit he was wearing, and all this jewelry, calling himself a pastor. And how does he have all this? How does he have all these connections with the mayor and stuff like that? So that's how he kind of got on the board. You know what I'm saying? So, and that happened a couple months ago. Okay, so moving on here. It's about me purchasing what I want to purchase. It's my prerogative to purchase what I want to purchase. Okay, so this is where the controversy kind of comes in, you know what I'm saying? This guy right here is out here wearing, right, all this jewelry and all these name brand clothing. And I guess the beef is the fact that homeboy is taking the I guess he's not really focusing on the word. He's not focusing on the word, right? Right? You're supposed to want to see Christ and not what he's wearing. You're supposed to trying to get closer to the Most High, and not trying to get closer to rappers, which is seemingly what he's trying to do with all this flash. So I think that's kind of like the big
Did,
beef with him.
didn't Jesus Christ frown on the materialistic stuff in the church there? Wasn't he upset?
He was. Yep.
And he's
He did.
preaching
The
the word of God,
Pharisees and
but
all them.
yep,
Yeah.
and he's stunning with Rolls Royces, cars that could literally buy people homes in Brooklyn, New York. and do a lot, you know what I mean, for the people. But that's just it's crazy, man. Honestly, but carry on.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly what I guess how people are looking at and why people think that he's a hypocrite, right? Because yeah, Jesus, I mean the word, what do you say, like rich people, it's easier for a rich man to get through the eye of a needle, right, than to get into heaven, right? So for this guy to portray himself as a rich man, it kind of goes against a lot of the teachings in the Bible. You're supposed to be very humble and meek and um be willing to give away every penny, right? Because the more you give is the more in favor you become with the Most High. But this guy clearly isn't. He's using this platform that he's gotten to just kind of showcase the fact that he's rich and he has a lot of money, and that's taken away from the word ultimately. You know what I mean? But I guess he says that he connects. He connects with the younger generation. He connects with the younger crowd by dressing like this, by looking like this, right? But ultimately, it's not necessarily about connecting with flash and connecting with the perception of you having money. It's more,
Material, like it's materialistic goods as well.
yeah, hmm yeah. It's about connecting with your word. It's connecting. It's about connecting with the people through the information that you're giving to him, giving to the people. So I think that's where the whole beef comes in, or the whole hypocrisy talk comes in. So going on here, the bishop said he can't be blamed for standing out in the community, giving his status. As critics suggested, his blinged out look could have made him an outsized target. And I mean, that's kind of the obvious point that a lot of people are pointing out. Like, if you got all this money, why not you have security? Why don't you have armed security there? Why don't you have a metal detector there? Why don't you have, just a better screening process of people coming into your the leaders of tomorrow international ministries, sermons and stuff like that. So I mean, I've heard that point a lot, and it is a good point. I mean, why don't you have security? You're walking off all that jewelry. Why don't you have security? Why don't you have a metal detector? Why don't you have somebody guarding the place, man? Somebody armed, somebody 7 foot armed guarding the place, man. Some ex baller, ex weightlifter, ex marine guarding the place, man. Okay, so sometimes when you're known a known bishop, it's a gift and a curse. Miller Whitehead said, you become the talk of the town. So I mean, this whole, when you're a known bishop, so a known bishop, I mean, we can go on for days and be sitting here talking about all the known bishops we've known over the past X amount of years, right? But I mean, we know this is a dirty game. I mean, and he's not helping. He's not really helping. You know what I mean? And the list goes on. Like, you got the Crefro dollars, you got the Benny Hins, there's a bunch of them in South Korea. There's a bunch of them in England. You're
Oh,
bugging out
sorry
there.
about
Yo,
that. Sorry about that.
okay. No
Sorry
problem.
about that.
No problem. No problem. There's a bunch of them in Ghana. There's a bunch of them in South Africa. There's a bunch of them in the UK, right? Where they'll use the word of God or the name of God to expunge money out of people and use it for their own personal benefit. They'll use miracles, um you know staged miracles technically for amplifying their profile and letting people know that, hey, I'm the real deal. But it's all a fake. It's all a facade. They'll bring babies back to life, right? Everything will be staged. They'll have people. They'll throw water on people, and people will fall, and all that type of stuff. They'll be doing all this really flashy stuff to show their congregation that they are the real deal, that they are the living embodiment of Jesus, or of the disciples, or of angels and stuff like that. But it's all fluff. It's all fluff, man. Right? And they're just preying on weak people. They're preying on weak-minded people. Ultimately, that's what it kind of goes down to. Okay, so when he says it's a gift and a curse, nah, man, you're not really an anointed one. That you may be anointed on paper, you may be a bishop, but you're not really, you're not it. You're not that. You're definitely not that. Okay, so at the time of the robbery, Miller Whitehead and his wife were wearing more than $1 million in jewelry, in jewels and gold. And that's the sad part. He says that The gunman came in and held a gun to his wife and his daughter. Like that could have got really dangerous. So for if he's a really sick person, if this was actually staged, because this could have got out of hand. It really could have got out of hand. If those guns were real, if everything was real that we saw, I mean, you're putting everybody's life in danger, bro, and that's not cool, man. All of that for a little bit of fame, just to get your name out there and to boost up your profile, man. You're putting your wife and your kids' lives on the line like that. Come on, man. And again, we'll go into why this shit was like somewhat staged a little bit after we read this article. But yeah, this is the guy, man. This is the guy. This is a picture of him wearing a fancy I don't know what type of shirt that is, but that's some type of like priest outfit, priest attire. Okay, so Miller Whitehead recalled how we reacted to the arm heist in two lengthy Instagram videos posted later Sunday while describing how the devil moves in reference to his attackers. When he says how the devil moves, I mean, you can easily throw that back at him because the way he moves can be very devilish by the way he's deceiving people, um, you know, just deceiving people in general. Because again, like, look at next paragraph. The thieves made off with a treasure trove of items, including one, what is that, 1,060,000, a $70,000, totaling 1,060,000, a $75,000 Rolex. So, how the devil moves, that's deceiving. Why are you walking around with a $75,000 Rolex? Like that could do a lot for your community if you're a man of the people, right? It's crazy. A $75,000 Cavalier watch, $25,000 Episcopal ruby, and diamond ring. So I think those are like his chains or something like that. $25 Episcopal ruby. So I think that's the ruby he was given when he was ordained as a bishop, and a diamond ring, $25,000 diamond ring, an Episcopal diamond ring. See, I think when you're ordained or when you're made a bishop, you get these Episcopal items. But I'm sure the regular average Joe's is not $25,000. So his had to be, I guess, at $25,000, which I mean, again, makes no sense. You know what I mean? I don't know why you're walking around with such expensive items. I know pastors walking around looking like average Joe, man, but they can preach the heck out of the word. You know what I mean? So moving on here, a $25,000 pair of earrings, a $20,000 diamond, and emerald cross, a diamond and emerald cross. Wow. So that's two different type of diamonds on a chain. So you had to have gone to the jeweler, got that custom made, $20,000. That's crazy. A $20,000 Episcopal ring. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4 rings on just to preach, just on a regular Sunday. A $20,000 Episcopal cross and a $10,000 Episcopal gold cross. This guy is balling like cash money, man. Look at this, man. This is crazy. When I see, that's
Still,
a lot of money, man.
he's getting to it, bro. He's getting to it, and it's just like, bro, let's be real. It's not like this guy's living in the South where there's acres of 40 acres in a mule, bro. You're in New York City, bro, the most expensive city in the world, bro. Like, dude, it costs money to live in New York, bro. So where is this money coming from? That's what I want to know, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Where is this money coming from? Yeah, yeah. That's the $1 million question. But he again, he has a lawsuit against him right now for $90,000. A lady came out and said that he stole the money. He stole her like life savings. This guy had, I mean, he went to, he was incarcerated for a bunch of scams and schemes that they said that he was allegedly doing. So basically, it seems like he's a scammer. Basically, he's on that scammer tip.
He gives that scammer that vibe, bro.
Yeah, that hush puppy vibe, that those guys at the Moon Rocks downtown Toronto vibe, like that type of vibe. So all that stuff can be intercepted, man. So he people say he's a dead man walking, man. He's one wrong move away from everything crumbling. Okay, so it says here, I didn't know if they wanted to shoot the church up or if they were coming for a robbery. So I don't know. Is he trying to be like the next Malcolm X? Like, what's going on here? Because very similar fashion how Malcolm X kind of lost his, you know, lost his life. Right? He was preaching one day, and then somebody kind of ran up on him. So I don't know if he's going for that vibe. They're trying to recreate a Malcolm X type situation. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just really strange. Here's a picture of him looking shocked as the robbers come in, right? And if you watch the video, you'll see that this guy in the left right here, this guy on the left, he was just kind of sitting there. Like maybe he was shocked. He didn't look shocked. He just looked like, oh, okay. Right. He didn't put his hands up. He didn't get on the floor. He just kind of stood there or sat there. The robbers entered the building, and there's actually video footage of them entering the building from across the street. But in the report or in the articles, it says that they drove off in a white car. So it's really strange, a white Mercedes Benz or something like that. So there's a lot of things that point to this could have been set up, could have been staged. Um, but moving on here, the trio of bandits took $1 million worth of jewelry from Bishop Lamar Whitehead and his wife as he was giving his sermon, according to those guys. Three masked men on Sunday robbed the leader of Tomorrow International Ministries in Brooklyn, NY. The suspects were all wearing masks, but Miller Whitehead said he could see their faces. They took all of my wife's jewelry and took all of my jewelry, and then they left, the bishop said, pointing out that he was even robbed of his wedding band. And the debacle left his congregation traumatized. Well, obviously, right? Who wouldn't be traumatized after seeing something like that? That's crazy. Okay, let me skip down to this picture right here. So this is what I was talking about a little earlier. This picture is basically of him pulling up with that subway guy, some guy who shot up the subway or something like that, right? In a Rolls Royce and a Fendi jacket, a Fendi shirt, a ring on, looks like a watch on. I don't know, is that another bracelet or what? Some he's wearing some more jewelry over there. A humongous Cuban chain right there, diamond encrusted Cuban chain, some type of designer glasses. This is how this guy pulled up to turn in an alleged shooter on the
So wait,
subway.
hold up. He's the one who turned in the subway shooter.
Yeah, so he brokered a deal for this guy, this subway shooter, to come. Not the big fat guy, not Frank James, not Frank James, because
Oh,
it's
okay.
separate. Not
So no,
Frank
no, oh
James.
my
This
God,
is
New
this
York
is
City,
another
bro.
one.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
this is
bro.
another one that happened after that. This the guy
Bro.
in the guy who he turned this guy in was with dreads, some guy with dreads. So that guy, he turned him in, but he had to come. It's seemingly like he had to come blinged out and driving a phantom, calling himself a pastor. So that's what made everybody say, "Who the hell is this guy?" And then again, a couple days, whatever. Well, yeah, now maybe 10, 15 days ago now, this whole incident happened. All right. So he says here, for you to kick in a church door and come with guns in the middle of service, what God is going to do to y'all is above my pay grade, the bishop said of the suspects while shaking his head. I mean, again, he says these type of things, and it's like, what is God going to do to him if people find out that he's really just kind of like scamming and he doesn't have legitimate businesses and he's stealing from people? What is God going to do to him? Right? I think that's what he should be more concerned about. Miller Whitehead, who said he understands the rules of the streets, called on the public to submit any tips to the NYP. Okay, so basically, he wants street justice. Is that what he's trying to say? He wants street justice for these guys. Like, come on, buddy. Like, you can't play both sides, man. Like, we know you got ties. We know you're from Canarsie. We know you've been to the bin, but what are you doing? Like, what are you really doing? You're a pastor. You're talking like this, dressing like this. This shit don't make no sense, man. It's really stupid. But moving on. The flashy pastor has had ties to Adam since at least 2013 and has last made headlines in May when he tried to negotiate the surrender of accused subway shooter and claimed to have spoken with his in or while the suspect was on the loose, right? So that's what happened there. So yeah, he tried to negotiate the whole thing and he had to pull up, in his best. So here's another picture of him. He has two chains on with two humongous diamond encrusted pendants, Fendi belt, and again, the same Fendi outfit we saw a little earlier with another pair of designer glasses on. Crazy. 390,000 Cuban chain. Now, again, you can get these things on layaway. You can get these things at a discounted rate. No one's saying he's paying 100% for these things, but dude, you start adding everything up, that's a lot of payments. That's a lot of money down. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You're not getting all these things at zero down financing. You know what I mean? You got to put some money up for this type of shit, man. Next, he appeared at more than a dozen high profile events that Adam attended during the Adams tenure as Brooklyn Borough president. And in 2016, the then BP introduced Miller Whitehead as my good friend and good brother at a concert in East Flatbush. This sounds like something out of like Power or some type of like television show, man. Like this is not making no sense. So these guys have known each other for so long, and one guy becomes mayor and one guy becomes the talk of the town like almost a year after he becomes mayor, and these guys have known each other for so long. I don't know, man. Seems a little something's not right here. At the time, the Post reported that Miller Whitehead was buoyed by Adams' support, which helped him promote and raise money for the Leaders of Tomorrow Brooklyn, a for-profit firm launched in 2014 that was built as a youth mentorship program. One of the oldest scams in the book, man. One of the oldest scams. We've done coverage on these type of movements prior. The BLM movement. There's other churches all around the world doing the exact same thing. Um, People will put out the notion that they're doing this as a way to rehabilitate the community, or as a way to spread awareness, or as a way to change and clean up their neighborhoods. But all along, they're taking the money that they're making and putting it in their pockets. So this is just another case of that, it seems like, but only time will tell. But the firm came under scrutiny when it claimed to have partnered with Brooklyn's DA office, uh, the NYPD, and the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce organization that claimed at the time to have no ties to the clergyman group. I guess so. Why would they want to have ties to this group? This is almost like an organized syndicate right here. So, I mean, they all could be in cahoots, man, for all we know. So maybe he thinks that he's safe to be out here going crazy with the scams because he knows that he has these guys in his back pocket. He knows he might have dirt on those guys. Maybe that's why he's not scared. He's walking around here like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get as much fame and money and as he can, right? Because he knows he probably has dirt in all these guys. He's known this mayor since 2013. Man, that's crazy, man. Miller Whitehead said he saw the burglars change their clothes in the car as he after them. And that's the funny part, man. He apparently was chasing these people, but the video didn't show any type of chase. He apparently saw them changing their clothes outside, but there's no video of them. Um, there's no video of anything outside. They actually have cameras showing them coming in, but not them going out. They have video, sorry, of them going in, but not them going out. Um, it's just it just all seems very fishy, man.
I'm gonna be
Very
honest
fishy.
with you though. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
In your lifetime,
sure.
have you ever heard of a church getting robbed in the black community? Ever? Like, I mean, like robbed at mass gunpoint.
I
No,
think
I've never heard that.
I've never heard of it, but he, of
I've never
course,
heard of it either.
he came out and said that okay, there has been a few in the past, like one in
But nobody's
Texas.
nobody's
Nobody's
heard
heard
of
of it.
them.
It hasn't made
It's
mainstream
bro.
news.
And
Yeah,
how long has the church been around, bro? And black people are everywhere on this planet, dude. And
yeah,
churches on every corner where black people are at, bro. I have never. And let me tell you something, because black people know the church is a sacred place. The
yeah.
only time you ever hear of some crazy stuff going on, somebody ran up in the church and shot it up, and people really it hurt everybody, especially in the black community when that
Right.
happened. But black people don't run up in there and run. I don't care. This craziest dude in the hood. Don't go to the church and run up in there and rob up the place. You don't even hear shootings in the church, bro. It's
Yeah.
rare.
You don't hear of
So
it,
then,
especially based on like every Sunday that stuff's happening, right? All
bro,
across the whole, the world. So it's
that's
rare, very rare, like you said, like 0.00001% chance of it happening. You know what I mean?
and this guy out of nowhere makes his grand appearance because he's basically now he's a known figure around the world at this point. You know what I mean? Especially
Yeah.
black people around the world. Everybody knows about this flashy because black people, everyone in black world knows about Brooklyn, New York, and then it's just like he's a known figure a flashy pastor from Brooklyn, New York, getting robbed. It's like that's unheard of. So now
Yeah,
he's a celebrity overnight. He's a sensation overnight. And
he
like
is.
all I see him every day is like starting on social media. There's
Right.
videos of him, nice cars, people talking about jewelry, talking about the money he's getting. And I'm just like, bro,
Trapping around.
I didn't even first of all, I didn't even know pastors in Brooklyn got that kind of money. I didn't even know pastors like that existed. You know what I mean? In Brooklyn, New York. So he's an anomaly, bro. Well, maybe there is, but I just never heard of him, never caught on my radar. But man, this
Never.
guy is balling out of control, man.
It is out of control, man. So, I mean, how does this end, man? Like, does he move past this and build a mega church and just turn into the next TD Jakes
Or
or
what's his name? The guy
Creflo
that
Dollar or
the white guy out in Houston. Remember we
Joel
drove by his
Joel
Osteen?
yeah,
Yeah,
Osteen.
yeah, we drove by his church. Remember that was the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life, bro. I'll never forget that church when I drove by. It was like,
yeah.
bro, it was bigger than freaking yo, bro. It was big. It looked bigger than the air, the Skydome.
Oh, you drove by that church, Joel
Bro, I
Osteen church?
drove by it in Houston, bro. I
Oh
never
wow,
seen something like that in my life, bro. It looked
wow.
bigger than the Skydome, bro.
That's crazy. And that's again all from like donation money. That's just people every week. I think they said what they say. One of the guy who died, I forget the black pastor who died the other day, Kenny Long or Eddie Long or something like that. They
Mm,
said that he had like 4 ATMs in his church, just set up all over the place, so they can just people just go and just take the money out and just man, it's crazy,
dude,
man.
the church has been the oldest hustle in the black community for the last maybe 200 years.
Yeah,
It's been the
yeah,
oldest hustle. Like black people have a lot of black churches have made, and it doesn't matter where you live in black worlds, the black diaspora. You could be in freaking Kingston, Jamaica. You could be in whatever Nigeria. You could be in Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You could be in freaking Los Angeles, South Central, freaking Toronto, Canada, Montreal, freaking wherever in London, England. Doesn't matter where you are, Trinidad and Tobago, Brazil. The church has been like the ultimate hustle for the black community, man. Like hustling out the black community. Because let's be real, a lot of blacks are in poverty, right? Or like you know what I mean, or not a lot of blacks basically are in poverty, or a lot of blacks are you know what I mean? Basically, you know what I mean? Middle class. And a lot of black people depend on the church for their, you know what I mean? Their spiritual connection, especially years before. Not as much today, but years before. And the church has always been prominent in the black communities. Doesn't matter where you live in the world, right? And basically, they've been extracting so much capital out of the black community. And let's be real, none of it ever goes back to the black community. You see what I'm saying? None of it
exactly.
ever goes back. Like you don't see the outcomes at the rates that you should be seeing. The amount of money that goes into these churches, like bro, when you go to like if you go to like Ghana, bro, you
Yeah,
see mega churches out there, bro. When you go
yeah,
to the South, you go to like Louisiana, Texas, and all these places, mega churches out there. I'm sure in the Caribbean and Jamaica and freaking Dominican and Haiti and all the churches all over the place, left, right, and center, bro.
yeah. Even
And
here,
it's
we got a couple humongous churches like in Ottawa and Montreal, like these,
Ottawa.
because they don't have no they pay like no taxes. They don't
Yep.
have to like their earnings don't have to be like reported like that. Like I think Bill Gates has a couple like humongous nonprofit organizations. It's just a way to like hide money, filter
Hard
money.
money.
Look at the
Yep.
Vatican, right? Like all of
Yep.
those guys too. They're their own
Yep.
state, right? Like the
Yep.
Jesuits. There's so much of them. There's so much.
Yep. The
Like it's
Quakers.
crazy.
The Quakers.
Yeah, the
You know what I
Quakers, the
mean?
Mormons, all of them,
Yep.
right? So they can like it's crazy. It
There's
is pretty
a
crazy.
there's a big church in Toronto too, Prayer Palace. I don't know if you guys heard Prayer Palace,
Oh
right off
yeah,
of
I
the
remember that.
401 or
Jim
the 4
Duffrin. Yeah.
400. Sorry, yeah,
Oh wait, Prayer
Prayer
Palace. I
Palace.
always where is that? I forget. Is that the
Finch
one?
and
Yeah,
the
I think I know where it
400.
is. Which one?
And the 400.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes,
That's a
yes,
big.
yes,
That's
yes.
supposed to be considered like a mega
Dude,
church in
there's there's a
Yeah,
Toronto.
there's a Ghanaian guy, bro. He built a church in Toronto. I think it's All Nations or something like that. He has
yeah,
that
Yeah.
church over there. And then he ended up building a church in Ghana. They said he has his own private jet. Bro, there's a lot of these guys. He's like these
yep.
these guys, especially these African guys,
Oh
who've
yeah,
like made fortunes
Yeah.
bought like real estate, some of them, some real estate all over freaking the diasporas, and just freaking where blacks are all over, and just it bought all types of just from these churches, bro. The church is so profitable. So this guy getting all this money,
Yeah.
it doesn't surprise me still. New York
Mm.
City, what? Brooklyn, New York is what 60% black or 50 some percent black, 55 or something like
Easily.
that. Yeah,
Easily. Yeah.
Well,
it's black and Jewish, right? It's all Jewish people and
yeah,
black people and Italians, and then
Yeah.
like Albanians and and then
mhm,
whatever, you know what I mean? But predominantly what Caribbeans and Black Americans, right? All in Brooklyn,
Right.
New York, right? So it's just like this guy's able to like extract how much capital? My
And it's
goodness.
like his movement doesn't even seem like it's humongous. Like the church seems so like rinky dink. Like it doesn't even like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But you know, it's another thing. Remember, these guys don't really have to pay anybody. They don't have to pay like employees. Like everything just be done under donation, or
Donation and
whenever you get a chance, you just slide a little money here, slide a little money there. All the rest just goes into their pockets.
And remember, they do a good job at soliciting money from other places. Like with like sometimes
Yes.
people don't even go to the churches. They're at different meetings. They get to see different city councilors. They get to see different people from municipalities, different business people. They get people that are, like you stated, donations, organizations that want to give
Right.
things over. So these churches, they're like these banks.
Yeah.
They know how to extract capital from all over.
Yeah, exactly. Extract capital from all over, and then remember that's considered a charitable donation. So on your end, your year end, if you tell your accountant that you made XYZ donations to this particular charitable organization, then your taxes go down, right? So it's all kind of like tied in together, right? To the government per se. So it seems like a scam. It's just another way for the rich people to guess hide their money. You know what I mean? Um, Corporations to hide their money and pay less taxes. Donate to the church, and these guys will take the money and stuff it in their pockets in the name of and then hide it and just say, "Oh, I don't take a salary. No, I don't take anything. Oh, I have other streams of income." You know what I mean? And I'm praying
Remember
for you.
too.
Then they hold
This,
events too. They hold weddings, right? They'll hold funerals. They'll be hired
yep,
for funerals. They'll be hired
yep.
for weddings.
Even confirmations and communions and baptism.
Exactly.
That's a
Yup.
that's capital coming in from left, right, and center, bro. They
Oh yeah.
also do they also do events where they'll have like maybe with the city and stuff like that, like maybe prayer groups or events with the city where they have to come and speak or whatever the
Right.
case may be. So, bro, these people know how to make money. Like this pastor guy, bro, he's and the crazy part is too. Remember, they could hide everything with LLCs. So, like,
Exactly.
the
That's what I
companies will
think he's
get paid.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah, the companies will get paid, and he just says you look at his tax return, it'll say maybe $0. There's no money coming in. Like, remember, a lot of this rich guys, they're like, I don't make no money. You ask
Right.
them what their yearly income is. The business, the LLC in the United States is his own corporation, it's his own entity. So
Yes.
if you sue somebody, they could say I make no money, and then the money goes to the LLC itself. You see what I'm saying? So
Right. Right.
it's tough, man.
Yeah. Same thing in Canada. Same. They do the exact same thing,
Yep.
yo. You know what I mean? They just hide their money in one company and it's not in here, it's in the other company, and then they have no ties to the other company, and then that's how
Yep.
they just kind of show that they've made no money for the
Yep.
year. They've made the bare minimum, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so they don't, go on any radars, and they
Yep.
write off these cars, as expenses and stuff like that. And you just need a good accountant at the end of the
Yep.
day. That's why accounting is one of the like, oh, you can make money as an accountant anywhere on this world, man. Because there's a lot of people trying to hide their money, man. All these,
Corporations, all these big businesses,
oh yeah,
everything, everybody,
corporations, yep,
yep, they all have accountants, huge
all of
accounting
them.
firms
Oh yeah,
that they
oh
hire,
yeah.
and so
Accounting is really an interesting profession, I must say.
yep, yep.
Very interesting profession. But yeah, this is a press conference that he was at, that he was talking about all that stuff, man. Like, look at this place, man. It doesn't even look like anything.
did
How
you
are you
see the
able to,
background?
like? Come on, look at
You
this
see the back
place.
of the guy's face
Yeah,
is
look at
like
the dirty
spray painted
floor.
in.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I actually watched this press conference before the live stream, and
yeah,
yeah, it's very
yeah.
very telling.
Well, what are you
You gotta
talking
listen.
about?
Well, he just went into
Yeah.
what's funny? What's so funny, you guys? What's going on?
No. It's just because you said there's spray painted his face in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's so
Sorry.
stupid.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, like if you look at, because you have to see a better angle. Yeah, the person's face, it's all spray
Yeah.
paint. You know, it's Brooklyn. You know, you're gonna see that, right? So they're gonna graffiti his
Yeah. They're saying
pictures.
like, uh,
His X's on his face, and like it's
they're
yeah.
graffitiing the
So
picture.
it's quite funny when I was. That's the first thing I noticed when I was watching it, and he was very passionate about what happened. You know, upset about the whole situation. You know what I mean? He but what he pointed out really stuck to me. He's like, they keep on calling me the flashy pastor and this and that, but they didn't talk about, all the things I gave at Christmas and saying all the things he's done, and then they don't talk about that, but they talk about my flashiness or my, and this and that. They didn't talk about, and then they talked about, him getting that guy to confess and go to the station. They didn't talk about that, and I'm like, well, it's what you're portraying. Like, you're portraying all this flashiness. You're not, and they're gonna take you for a joke because they're not seeing Christ. You know what I mean? They're just seeing you in all this flashiness.
Yeah.
So they're gonna call you the flashy pastor because that's what you are presenting to the public, to the world, pretty
Right.
much, right? Because I had
Yeah.
no
I
idea who
agree.
this person was until this happened. I had no idea. So he did speak on. He was crying at one point when he was talking about,
Oh yes, he was.
what he was crying. What happened to, people don't like talking about the women that are afraid to come back because of what happened. So he did see some like compassionate points to his press conference. But then on the flip side, now you see him, you saying, well, you're because I'm a black man, and pulling the black card, and then, oh, they don't look at Joel
Yeah.
Hossein, they don't look at these other pastors, and they don't, I don't think he talks about the Catholic Church, but that's a side note for me. The
Yeah.
Catholic Church is very wealthy. The Mormon Church is very wealthy, as you guys were talking about earlier.
You're right. Right.
So, and they don't talk about it, but there's a lot of
Right.
scandal.
Catholic Church.
They
Yep.
do get exposed. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm like, well, that's funny because
Yeah. Catholic
Joel say
Church is
what
like one of the only ones that kind of gets exposed. Yeah.
they get exposed a lot. The Mormon church is exposed. Like, if you
Go
look
on.
at
Go
the
on. Go on.
interview
Yeah.
with the girl from
Oh yes, you're right. Yeah.
the king of what's the guy's name? Like, there was a show. The girl, she was a Mormon. She came out and all this old thing. She was an actress. So the Mormon church does get exposed. There's many documentaries on that. So they do get exposed, as well as
Yeah.
if you look at Joel Osteen was just knocked a couple years ago about the whole flood situation, and his church make him, you know what I mean? So he has been, and a lot of these pastors are going to get exposed anyways, and they have been exposed. Creflo Dollar has been exposed many times. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he can't just pull the black card because there's a lot. Look at Jimmy Swagger back in the 80s, got caught with a prostitute. You
Right.
know what I mean? So, and that changed his whole, so you got to look at that too. So he can't really pull the black, oh, I'm a black pastor, I'm black. No. When it comes to these things, there's no, like,
Yeah.
I know racism's there, but this is not, you can't pull the colorism thing. It's not about that right now. So yeah, but anyways, so what were you,
No, that's a
anyways,
good
so
point. Yeah, it's not
yeah,
really not
so
about that. It's kind of messed up that they'll never ever initially talk about his whole background like we talked about earlier. And I think that is kind of common with black men. They'll never ever they'll just go straight to the crime and go on. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, yo, and it's crazy too.
They'll just
Like,
go straight to that,
what?
straight to the crime, straight to what he's done wrong, straight flashy
Yeah,
and this and that. But they'll never bring up his father and all that type of stuff first. They'll never
no,
lead with that.
the you're right, and the crazy part is, it's just like, dude, it seems like, I don't know, man. These reverends and these pastors and these sermons and these people who quote unquote, it's funny because I don't even just see it as a pastor thing. Like, even like, bro, like, even guys to the length of like, um what's his name, the guy who was the Nation of Islam, what's his name, the original Nation of Islam guy.
oh, Prophet,
Mr.
no, no,
Farrakhan or
not
No, the other
Farrakhan.
one.
oh
It
Prophet
was
Muhammad.
Yeah,
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
Prophet. What's his name? It
Muhammad.
was It was
What's his name?
Elijah
Elijah
Muhammad. Yeah,
Muhammad.
yeah, Elijah
Elijah,
Muhammad.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
bro, he
Elijah
was the
Muhammad.
same thing, bro. He was the same
Elijah
thing,
Muhammad,
bro.
no?
Yeah, Elijah
Yeah.
Muhammad. Yeah,
Yeah.
the same thing, bro. He was on the same tip, extracting resources from the community. What was he doing for the people, bro? This dude was running around here having guys do
Yeah.
crash out missions for him. You see what I'm saying? And all
The
types of
young
shit like that.
girls.
And then yeah, young girls and the crash out missions, like impregnating young girls and bro. And then it's like even the Catholic Church, bro. Like you guys are speaking straight up facts, and it's like yo, it's crazy because I was actually looking. And I was looking at New York's history. There's been pastors like him in the 80s and the 70s, even in the 90s, bro. There was even a popular pastor called Frederick J. What's it called? Ecoler. His name was Reverend Ike. He was a flashy pastor from Harlem in the 80s and the 70s, bro. He
Okay.
was and he
Oh,
was
okay, okay.
extracting. He was yeah. If you guys go on YouTube, you can check him out. It's like a mirror image. It's like literally like night and day. It's like the exact same guy, but just from a different. It just whatever a couple decades before. You see what I'm saying? Or a few decades before. He was out there doing the exact same thing, and he was a controversial pastor as well. So it seems like this is a never-ending saga when it comes to society and these pastors. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these guys are corrupt. They're
Wow.
criminals. You see him,
Yeah.
right? Reverend Ike, right? I don't know if you guys could take a
Oh
look at
no,
him,
I
bro.
didn't. I didn't
Reverend
get a
Ike.
chance to look him
Yeah,
up.
and yeah, and he was popular in the
Wow,
thing.
that's crazy.
He was doing the same thing in Harlem, New York, and he was driving around Rolls Royces and all types of stuff like that. And they've had a bunch of these guys in New York City. You know what I mean? Every city has them, right? But New York, New York, you're New York, and you do it big over there. You get stardom everywhere. You see what I'm saying? So man, it's just crazy when you think about it, man.
Wow. It's crazy, man. You're right. Here's another one right here. Another one, bro.
Yeah, Reverend Ike, bro. Go on his
They're everywhere.
images.
Like
Go on his image. They're everywhere. Go on his image.
flashy, clean.
Oh, look at his hairdo, man.
Jeez, man.
He's driving around Rolls Royces too, man.
Jeez.
Look
That's
at Benny
crazy.
Hinn. Benny
Oh
Hinn
yeah,
always
Benny
looks
Hinn.
flashy too, guy. Benny Hinn. Oh
Yeah.
my God, it's Benny Hinn, man. Tell you.
Wow.
And oh, you know who's the funniest? Oh, Peter Popoff, man.
Peter
You ever heard of
Popoff.
Peter Popoff?
Who's
Barry
that?
the Barry the Miracle
I heard
Water.
that name.
Peter Pop. Yo, when
Oh yeah, yeah,
Nas
yeah.
Nas and YG, they did a song about Peter Popoff and
Peter
stuff like that.
Popoff.
He's like
Televangelist.
televangelist if you watch
Oh,
BET late
Miracle
at night,
Water.
Miracle
Mm.
Water
Yeah.
stuff, and like it's so
Oh, this
funny.
guy. Yeah.
It's like a lot of these
Wow.
pastors pop up and and people just send them all this money, and I'm like they're harlots, man. I mean not harlots, like they're what's the word?
Charlatans.
Charlatans. That's the word. Thank you.
Mm.
Also, like
Yeah.
the charlatans.
Yeah.
The harlots are prostitutes. Sorry, charlatans. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. So it's like a lot of them, and then a lot of them are wolves in
Yep.
sheep clothing.
Yep.
And the Bible warns you of the
Yep.
false prophets,
The
right?
false prophets.
There
Yeah.
we
Yep.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because Mari and I, like we had like a private conversation yesterday, and I was bringing up Ephesians 4:11,
Yep.
what the purpose of bishops, prophets, evangelists, what their purpose is, and really is to build up the people of Christ, is to build them up. That's the whole purpose. Their purpose is not to buy all these like $1 million mansions and flashes. No, that's not your purpose. So a lot of them are not called to be pastors. Sometimes man put them there.
Mhm.
A lot of them are not called from God. A lot of them are not chosen.
I agree.
So that's why you really have to be alert. You have to be careful. And a lot of people, unfortunately, a lot of these people get sucked in. You know what I mean? And be deceived by a lot of these wolves that are out here. So yeah, it's serious, man.
It's
It's a
serious, man.
serious game, yo. I'm telling
It's
you that.
and it's never ending too. It just
Yeah.
seems like it's always been in society. Just like they're every. It doesn't matter where you go, bro. You're gonna find these people everywhere. Every corner, small town, big city, suburb. uh, rural area. They're just everywhere extracting money from people.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
And,
man.
and what he called some girl like the a fat B word, just
Yeah,
the
big.
Mon guy.
Yeah,
Like,
because I was
look at all
actually
that.
watching
He
that.
has no filter. Like he's all
Yeah,
Thinks he's
crazy.
Kevin. Thinks he's Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, he actually has the glasses like which look
yeah.
similar to him too.
Insane.
And if you watch comedy hype news, like it's like Pastor goes off on pastors for joking about the live stream robbery because a lot of them were joking about it. And he went off on the girl because the girl called him a liar. And he's like, "Oh, you know, I this and this that you're big," called her Biggie Smalls or Biggie Fat something something. I'm like, first of all, this is how you know something's not right. Pastors are not supposed to be insulting women like that. This is to be men
No,
of
you're right.
honorable, men of respect. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
doesn't matter if somebody's calling you a liar. You must have self control and say, "Hey," because you're a pastor. You're supposed to be a leader. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You're
exactly.
supposed to show us what to do and how
No,
to act.
facts, valid,
Yeah,
valid facts. Yeah, it's
yeah,
true. As a you
yeah.
got to be able to conduct yourself as a pastor. You can't get out of character and stuff. Start cursing them
Exactly.
out and bro, these
Yeah.
pastors. That's how you know these guys are frauds, man. Yo, when the man says a pastor, bro, you already know it's a money grab, bro. When I hear pastor, bro, I just be like, oh, this guy's
Well,
trying.
there are some true pastors out there. You just got to find them. There
You
are
really have to
there.
find them,
Trust me,
yeah.
they're there.
I
There's
hear
some
you.
real ones,
They
man.
have to be able to teach you and speak
Yeah.
to you in a way where it like resonates in you, and it's like the whole image, the whole look, everything just has to kind of be there and has to like really touch you. I haven't heard this guy say absolutely any type of words that I actually can take away and say like, you know what, that made sense or this made sense or he taught me something here, he taught me something there. You know what I mean? And a
Straight,
lot of them don't. A lot of them don't. Remember that guy who was dissing up Kevin Samuels before he passed away? Forget his name. I think he was a pastor
TD
too.
Jakes,
No, the other guy.
Which one was
Oh,
that? I
I
didn't know.
forgot his
Bishop.
name, man. But yeah, what was his name again? He was dissing up Kevin Samuels before he died. I forget his name, but if I find his name, I'll let you know. But I try to listen to him, and he was in the Country Wayne skits and everything.
Bishop,
He's from
is it not
Atlanta.
Bishop TD Jakes or no? No, it's
No, it
not
was
him.
another guy, the guy from Atlanta.
They're all from Atlanta.
I
I
think he's
know
from
they're all
Atlanta
majority of them. Yeah. Oh my
too.
goodness.
Oh man, what was his name again? Jamal Bryant. He's another one, bro.
I've never heard of
Remember
Jamal
Jamal
Bryant.
Bryant? Yeah, Jamal
Oh,
Bryant was dissing up Kevin Samuels before. Remember he said that, oh, the high value man, and he said something like that. He's
no, my
another one. He was
goodness.
dissing up Kevin Samuels too. I haven't heard nothing from this guy. I tried to listen to him a couple times. His word didn't even like resonate. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, man, Jamal Bryant. Like he was trying to get a hype basically off of Kevin
Kevin
Samuels,
Samuels.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
They're
was trying to get a hype.
all circus clowns. It's like a circus,
Yeah, they're
man.
all just yeah,
It's
man.
all the circus, man. It's
It's all a
crazy.
big circus.
Yeah.
And actually, just to circle back, there actually was a failed shooting in Jamaica one time at a church, right? But it's usually like we're saying earlier, it's like some deranged guy walked in and shot his like stepmother or something like that in Jamaica.
I
I
heard
see,
about that. It was over
right?
some money. It was over a money
Yeah,
thing
over
too.
because she worked at the bank or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a
I
father
was,
that had passed
yeah,
or something, just recently passed away from a car
yeah,
accident.
car accident. Yep, yep,
Yeah, and he went in and shot her. It was over money. It's
yeah.
over
It's
money.
over
And look
money.
at the false pastor that slit the woman's neck. Remember they're doing the
Oh, just
sat
recently.
recently. I remember my dad sent me the
Yeah,
videos. I
yeah,
look at this wickedness, and they're like they were, and he got to the accident, and then he died in the accident, and then the people
yeah.
that were over. No, it's not funny, but like
Not
this is
funny.
what happens. It's scary at the same time because it's like these people realize like you can't mess with God. Like you can't mess with the word of God. Like this thing, things happen. Come on, like
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
why
right.
it's like I don't know, like this type of topic. I can go off for days, so I don't. I
But
gotta.
what was her name again?
Right.
Christine, or something like that. I remember they're talking about her, like them trying to find the girl, they can't find the girl, and that was like everywhere. They're talking about that for like weeks, like they couldn't find the
Yeah.
girl, they couldn't find the girl, and it ended up being what, a pastor who killed her or something like that. I didn't ever got to the end of it. Like what happened? The
Oh,
missing
that's
with
something
that missing
different.
woman. Oh, that's something
Oh,
different. Oh,
it's
okay,
something
okay. I thought it
different.
was a
That I've never
pastor.
heard of that. No,
I
never
forget
heard
her
of that
name, man. I
story.
think it was somebody else.
Oh, didn't that happen recently though? I heard.
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
this is
okay.
not, you're talking about something else.
Oh no, I'm talking
Okay,
about something
never
that
mind.
happened earlier on this year,
Okay.
or
Yeah,
was it
there's so much
last
going
year?
on. You're right.
It was. Yeah, it was talked about a lot. in the Caribbean community because my dad was sent me the videos and stuff.
I'm
So
telling you, it
yeah,
every day there's something with these. It's crazy, man. Man, oh man. So yeah, man. Any final thoughts, people? We're gonna wrap this up. We're at the hour mark. You know what I mean? I think we got off all our points about this pastor and how this bishop, I should say, and how he's just like he's hustling. It seems like the people, and he has a whole bunch of connections and ties to the mayor and funding and businesses that he can just expunge money from and afford to pull up in Rolls Royces and working out of a yeah. It looks like some type of 2-bit operations that he's doing to extract money out of people, and it just doesn't seem like it's legitimate. And his fall will come. I'm not wishing on it, but it doesn't seem like this is gonna last much longer, man. Like this guy's 50 minutes of fame are gonna disappear soon, man, because it's not backed by anything, man. It's not real. It's not real, man. It's just to
no,
get fame and attention and acclamation, man. And you know these stars, man. These stars always burn out, man. So we'll see what happens. I don't think it's gonna ascend to the level of Creflo Dollar and all that type of stuff. I doubt it. If he does, I doubt it, man. I doubt it.
I think there's something that Creflo Dollar said. Yeah, he says like that if you don't pay tithe and offering, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get blessed or something. I don't know, man. He was like in the news recently, and I'm like, oh, okay,
Oh, that's
yeah.
what the Crusades did, right? Like way back in the day, man. Like
Oh, if you don't give tidings, you're not going to get blessings and all that,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
false.
That's how the Catholic
Oh,
Church
that's
made
definitely
their
not
money
true.
years ago. That's how they
Yeah,
initially
that's a
got there.
tactic to
Yeah,
make money,
and
and
that's how
it's
they were able
total
to
not
fund
true.
wars and
Yeah,
stuff like that, and all
yeah.
types of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Creflo Dollar just, oh, it's not true, and he just like revealed. I'm like, because maybe that's what he was saying for years, and he realized, well, yeah, you should have known that it's not true or something. You know what I mean? So, but I don't know. A lot of these pastors know the truth, but they compromise because they need the money. If they tell the full truth, the raw truth, you're not gonna have because not a lot of people like the truth, so they're gonna lose a lot of people, right? Because it's all about popularity and money. If they really speak the truth and speak what God wants them to say, you know what I
right.
mean?
They would
That's
they
a
would be
lot of them.
very, they would be very unpopular if you think about it. If they really
Yeah,
spoke the truth about what's going on in society and reverted
yeah,
it back to what's going on in the like against all like like the flag community, right? And like what's
right,
going on with like how they're trying to like demonize everything and put everything on front street and stuff like that. Like they can't talk too loudly about these things. They'll never get
right,
anywhere. The people will
yeah,
just leave in fear and or report them or anything could happen to them,
right.
right? They might end
Yeah.
up missing. Who knows?
Or they're gonna run to another place because
Another place.
they have itchy ears.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because they don't want to really hear the truth. They want it. They want what's gonna a feel good moment kind of thing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Soothing lies and
So,
uncomfortable are
yeah,
better than uncomfortable truth.
exactly, exactly. So that's why they're afraid because they know if they don't speak, if they don't compromise, then they're
They
not gonna
lose.
make the money. They're gonna lose people and they lose money.
Wasn't
So that's
wasn't
why.
wasn't wasn't Mace a pastor at one point too?
Yeah,
Pastor
he is, and
Mace?
now he's fully,
He's back.
but is fully back into the music industry and just
Scamming.
battles between Fabio and
Yeah, scamming.
Puffy.
He's a scammer now. He's a scammer
Yeah,
stealing.
scammer.
Yes, the signing artists and paying them $5,000 and running away.
Yeah. Well, no, he
I,
did tell his side. That's something that we were gonna. I don't know, if, like, Mari, if you're gonna do
you
another
can
live
speak
stream
on it.
on
No
that.
worries. You can speak on it. But
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, we can
because
stop
he
this
did.
and do that type shit. But yeah,
Because he did speak on his side of that, and that he didn't give him public. Like he has he got he didn't make money off of his publishing. He didn't make money off of his tours or his concerts. So, and he did give him 750,000 because he was on million
Mace
dollar
is
worth of
lying,
game.
bro. Did you hear him though? Did you hear
Yeah,
the
I
point
know.
where he says, "Yo, I gave them 75. I got 75. They got 75. The
Seven,
other guys got
yeah,
7." Nobody understood what Mace was
saying I know.
saying.
But that's the shadiness of the
Wow.
music business. It's like you
yeah,
don't really know. Like
Mace, yo,
that's
let me tell you something. Mesa Pastor, bro. When he said the 75,000, 750,000, he goes, I got 750,000. They got 750,000. He got 750,000, but he owes me 50,000.
yeah,
And then I looked at Fabio Foreign's deal and it said he only made 1 million. His deal's worth $1 million. So Mace was just doing that
yeah,
babble
Yeah,
pastor chit chat, pastor thing confused everybody in the room. Nobody even questioned what he said. It was just like one of them ones where
Wow.
it went right past everybody's head. I was kind of like, that doesn't make no sense. But
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, Mesa. Remember, they always say those guys from the city, bro. They're the
yeah,
city slickers. So they're real good with they're good with the gift
Oh,
of gap, bro. They know how to convince anybody.
wow, man.
that's crazy.
I
Mace
don't
was a
know.
pastor, bro.
He was a
It's
pastor,
like,
now he's
man,
back
yeah.
into
And
the
what wasn't
industry.
Fabio?
It's
And then
weird.
they said that's what they said that that this guy popped up, this bishop, Bishop Whitehead popped up at one of these like save the community events, and Fabio was there, and what's his name? Mayor was there. Mayor Eric Adams was there as well too. So this guy, bro, Fabio's involved too. Eh? He's involved in a lot
May
of shit,
said, what
man.
did May say? May said that yo, Fabio's foreign's manager is a cop. He said his
Yeah,
manager's a cop. So I don't know, man. You might be right, yo. He might be involved with some shit.
this guy's involved too. Like this Fabio guy. I mean,
It's
I don't want to tie it back to Pop Smoke, but who knows, man? Like, why
yeah,
was he just disappeared like that off the scene, and now Fabio's the guy. Like, it's crazy stuff. Yeah, and Fopso's from Canarsie too.
yeah. He
I
is
think
from Clancy. Yeah,
my boy said that he knew Bishop Whitehead said that he knew Pop Smoke as well too. Of
Pop
course,
Smoke, yeah,
right? Yeah, they all know each other down there, right? Yeah,
yeah,
man. So
yeah.
yeah, it's wild still, man. It's wild. It's a wild little story, man. We'll see what happens with this dude, man.
I know.
Yeah, man. All right, man. So y'all ready to wrap this up, man? Any final thoughts? Yo, people, like, subscribe if you made it this far, man. Subscribe to El Selector's channel. Subscribe to my channel. Like the video. Share with a friend, man. Come back with more heat, man. Any final thoughts? We're at an hour mark, man. We're gonna wrap this up.
Yo, final thoughts, yo. Stay tuned. The Brooklyn Pastor got a lot more coming up, and I'll be watching.
Honestly, same. I will definitely be watching this guy, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, let's see what he comes up with next. Naz, any final thoughts you got?
Uh just be careful. Be careful. Watch out. Watch out for the wolves, man. And sheep clothing.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, just gotta watch out. And yeah, we'll see what else comes out with this guy. Because
Yeah,
he's an instant celebrity now. Very popular.
everywhere,
So
everywhere,
His
yeah,
cloud is at an all-time high right now.
yeah, definitely.
everywhere, man. Yeah, but again, people, subscribe, like, comment for more. We gonna end this here. Peace.
Peace.